It's good, Muddy. Everything is good. Good. That's how it's supposed to be. When you in control of your universe, right? Scorpion. There we go. You.
Yo, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. I can't complain. How you doing, bro?
Same here, man. No complaints. I'm grateful.
Hell yeah. Same.
You can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I kind of just want to I want to continue kind of like what we had did, earlier in the week with when you interviewed me. So we don't have to go back into like how we met and stuff like that. Because they can see that, from the other interview. But I do think that it's important, because a lot of times, when you meet up, no matter what craft or what field you're in, right? A lot of times you don't know what you don't know. But a lot of times you miss out on certain people that are certain, like, um the younger dancers call them like scrolls, right? Sometimes people are walking scrolls. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that you are one of those people that can, not only talk about dance, you can talk about the culture, about where you're from. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody knows, like, LA and Compton and just in terms of just the West Coast, but everybody also knows that the Bay is like its own little like world. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you
Yeah.
got to be from there to actually know, what time it is. And I want to take the opportunity to, dive into that while I have you, because it's, the Bay is the type of place, if you go there, you might not make it out because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not even just on some negative shit. Like, that's just being real. Like, because it's that important to know how to move and shake in that particular place. Every place is not like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's certain places, like I think the Bay, you gotta move like that. Memphis, you gotta move like that. Jersey, you gotta move like that. It's just certain places. It's not just like, oh, come here, it's so welcome. Like, nah, you gotta know the lingo. You gotta know who's who. And it's just out of respect. It ain't about, oh, somebody's gonna do something to you. Just out of respect, these certain places are so tight knit culturally. It's beneficial to know these things. So I definitely want to start there with you. Tell us about the Bay, man. What makes the Bay so special and so unique?
Man, thank you for asking that, man. For real, for real. Man, it's so much to start. Let me just start with saying the Bay is a very unique place. And the reason why it's such a unique place, not just because of like the dance and the culture as a whole, from the Black Panthers being in Oakland and the Black Panthers inspiring what the Crips and the Bloods was originally for, about, unity and organization and leadership and community work. Um, from the jazz, from the funk music, like, Sliding Stone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the persona of the Bay, of just the hyphen going dumb. Like, that's just a little glimpse of what our culture really is. Our culture is so broad, and it's very diverse. The nationalities is different type of nationalities. So, we got damn near any nationality you could think about. We have all of that. So you
Mm-hmm.
got all these different cultures all in one, mixed in one pot in this big space, but then there's small cities within the big space. So, like, when people think of the Bay, you're going to automatically think of Oakland or San Francisco. Them is like the two big mecca places, because the eco base is hella big there in their bigger cities. So you
Mm-hmm.
got the 2, 3 big cities, and then you got the small cities that surround it. Like, where I'm from, like, I'm from Fairfield, so that's a small city. E40's from Vallejo. That's a small city. That's 15 minutes away from where I'm from. Richmond is a small city. Like all these other cities that's small, and then you got like the big cities are like more like the meccas, like, you know what I mean? All in one. And then you got the smaller cities that surround it. And then in every small city, there's like a subculture. Then there's like a Bay Area culture. So that's why, like, sometimes with the Bay, it's so unique. It's so different because it's so much here at one time. It's so much. So I think because of our infrastructure, like the way the Bay Area is set up, first of all the technology is created out here. So Silicon Valley is out here. Everybody come out here to get money. So, you know, all the Apple, the Facebook, the Instagram, all the new technology. But that's why, like, the culture is getting gentrified as well. So California as a whole, but the Bay specifically, is one of the highest places to live. Like, you know, you got to be making at least $50 an hour to, you know what I mean? Like, they won't have a ticket for a house. You ain't if you want to live in a nice house, you're gonna pay $600,000 up. You know what I mean? But that's because of all the shit that's here. So they gentrifying everything. So they make it to where now the property value was hella high. And then once the property value was hella high, they make it to the point where motherfuckers can't afford it. So then they start pushing people out to the outskirts and the valleys and stuff like that. But like originally, how it was, it's so much creative culture here from the, like, and it's hip hop. Like, people don't think the Vegas like hip hop. It's hip hop. If you want to talk about dancing, graffiti, you want to talk about the science, we got everything. Up tempo music, weed music, laid back music, backpack music, everything. But the persona of the Bay is only the little glimpse of what you see, which is the hyphy and going down. But the food, the music, the arts, the history, like I was talking about the Black Panthers, and I play a strong point in a lot of, you know, a lot of people was inspired from, you know what I'm saying, from the Black Panthers. Bruce Lee had his studio out here in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of cultural history that I think people will love and will connect to out here. But yeah, just to kind of sum it up a little bit, like to give you a little. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. You know, that's
no. You made complete sense to me. Like, trust me, I get it. So with that being said, what you explain in the subgenres and things like that, all that does play a part in how the dance scene is actually grown as well. You guys also have some of the richest dance history in terms of, like, I mean, people gonna say this and that and third about the popping, but I've done my own research and interviewed my own people. I know where popping come from. You understand what I'm saying? So you guys have a rich history, you know, with the dance styles, like with popping, and you guys have turf. And so tell me a little bit about that in terms of the rich history of the actual dance styles and cultures you guys have been able to cultivate too over there.
Man, thank you for asking that too. That's a good question, man. I mean, shout out the Black Resurgence, man. That's one of my OG William Randolph and his whole crew. Some of the pioneers of boogalooing. And turfing is pretty much the little baby of boogalooing and popping. You know what I mean? Like, we're the baby of that. So a lot of what you see with boogalooing and how the elders was moving, we just evolutionized that as young kids, and it became turfing. Now, turfing, it started in the late 90s, 97, 98. Rest in peace to one of my OGs. We call him the godfather of turfing, which is A1. So people like A1, you know, my OG, STI Jack, Shiny Bo, Dav, Rawne, Deantra. It's a lot of people to name, but I'm gonna start from the beginning with that. So the first group of turfing was the Architects. The Architects was the first group ever in turfing. So it started with the Architects, which was organized by Jarrell Bay, a cat who was from LA, who originally come from house dancing, but he came up here to the Bay, and he was one of the few people who actually had somewhat of the business mindset before, you know, before they had it. Because they was little kids. They didn't really know what they had. You know what I mean? They was 13, 14, 12, little kids. But he seen like, oh, like this shit is dope. Like this can, this can be something. So that's where the acronym taking up on the floor come from, turfing. Originally, it wasn't called that. It was called fuck with it, mess with it. It was hood terms because turfing come from the street elements. It come from Oakland, West Oakland specifically. So West Oakland, they was more groovy, more bouncy, more swag. And the East Oakland cats, they had smoothness. They was with they smoothness. Smooth on their feet, finesse, fly. And then you got North Oakland. 3 sectors. You got North Oakland. North Oakland would mix both. Would mix all the styles and become like this hybrid. But back to what I was saying. With turfing, Jarrell came and he made the acronym taking up room on the floor. That's what that stands for. To make it more modernized where it can be more marketable. It was like you came, our kid, we fucking with it. That's just how we talk. I was like, you going crazy, you fucking with it. Hit that shit, bro. Like, that's our slang, but he seemed to like, yo, if we do it like this, it could be more of a trajectory. So he started the Architects. You got the group, the Architects. They was the first group. Then some of the Architects became Animaniacs. That's how the Animaniacs was born, where they branched off and became the Animaniacs. So now you have the original people that was on the Architects, and now they Animaniacs. So you got Young Shep, Raw Nay, DeAndre Dav, Zeus, Lil Future, Quani Bodie. They was little kids, just to give you a few names. And the Animaniacs was all about being animated. It comes from the cartoon, the Animaniacs. So everybody had their own character and their own style. Nothing was about being copycatting. You used to get destroyed for that. If you wasn't original, it's like hip hop. Motherfuckers is not respecting it. It's only one Slick Rick. It's only one Rakim. It's only one Big Daddy Kane. So it's like there was only one Dad. There was only one Shiny Bo, one STI Jack, one Raw Nate. Nobody looked like each other. Being original, but being animated. They had characters. They was being animated. And they built their stuff off of real family. It wasn't just we going to a battle and now that's it. And that's the team. No, they was a real family. Outside the ring and inside the ring. Nobody never had to want for nothing. Like, I'm thankful to have solid OGs. Like, that's why I'm the way I am, because my OGs was like that. Like, they made sure nobody had to want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They never had to want for anything. Everybody took care of each other, no matter what nobody was going through. So the Animaniacs branched off. They was doing their thing. They was in all the videos, E40 videos, the Federation videos, the Keep the Sneak videos, like all the hot artists that was from the Bay Area. The Animaniacs was was in all the videos first. They was the first team. So they out doing the videos. Due to the fact that the business structure wasn't right, a lot of stuff started falling apart. And then people got older as well. People start having families and kids. People wasn't getting paid. So, it's cool and fun when you a little kid. When you start getting a little older, they like, this shit wasn't getting me no bag. Like, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for this shit. Like, so people started going off, having their lives, going to work, taking care of their families, having kids. So a lot of people stopped. A lot of people, they stopped early, which, I wish, I tell them all the time, like, man, I wish I was able to just hang on for a little longer. But I understood they was tired. The eco base wasn't there. Something that we talked about in our interview, So it's understandable. People grew up and they moved on. So then I come in a little later. And I think that's so dope because I'm on, the team I'm on is, the original team who created turfing. So I never seen that coming. I never seen that coming. I used to watch these guys on TV and shit in the videos. Like, he's like, this shit crazy. Like, oh, these in the E40 video on 106 in Park. He goes on 106 in Park. They go, they doing their thing, like, this shit crazy. And then years later, I met my OG Zeus, who mentored me and really gave me my essence and my foundation in turfing. So, when you have a diamond, before you make it a diamond, you got to do the pieces to it. So I was already doing my thing. I had a name. I was doing my thing, but he made me into a diamond. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
really gave me my foundation. And, you know, he was the first person to teach me about community work. He was the first person, because I used to originally, I wasn't always fully like that. You know, we come from the competitive nature. So when I'm coming up, I'm like, I'm talking my shit. I dog this person, this person, this person. You feel me? I'm a legend. I'm a great. And this is years ago. But I'm just telling the story. And he checked me. Oh, like not like going off, but he respectfully checked me. He was like, nah, Lord, bro, like you still got work to do. Like you don't even understand what you saying. Like that's not how you become a legend. I'm like, and I was like, what you mean? And he was breaking that the community work. Each one teach one. That's his whole thing. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. So like he instilled that, like each one teach one. And seeing how he was with me and other students, giving us the opportunity to perform at Warrior Games, performing in the juvenile hall detention centers, and we the kids motivation or positivity for the day when they've been locked down for 20 plus hours. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that early and him having us in that, that's where the community work had came from. But Zeus plays I'm staying on Zeus, not just for myself, but I want to, because he plays a very intricate part, because Zeus, while a lot of people stopped dancing, a lot of the elders, him and Rawnae was some of the few elders that kept going and kept teaching. So that's why when I'm here, that's why, you know, you see some of the people that y'all like y'all, that's why they here, because Rawnae and Zeus, they had their hand open. They was teaching workshops. They didn't mind taking out the time. Like he used to have me come to his house every weekend, spend a night every weekend, take his time out with me. They would have people come to their house and open up with open arms and take their time out with them. So then they, after a while, you know, they had started to they was getting older. They, you know, you tired, you want to go move on, do other things. So then that's where I had came in, and I became an Animaniac, not even knowing that I was gonna become an Animaniac, and it's built that relationship, you know, with all my elders, and continuing like what we talked about in the interview, the work and making sure that that legacy as a whole of Turfing stay around, because Turfing is still a baby. It's been around a little over 2 decades, but it's still a baby. So we just now getting to the point where it's taking an incline, but it's still dirty work to do. The eco base, the organization, the unity, you know, in the focus. Everybody, like we said, you know, you ain't got to be cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to be lovey-dovey, but us understanding, like, look, this is ours. We got something special. If we don't want this gentrified, we got to be the ones to protect it. We got to create that so people can't infiltrate and then make millions off of our shit, and then we looking crazy, and niggas is still in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Off of what we created and pioneered. But I don't know if that answered your question. I can go on all day about this. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Stop me when I'm talking too much.
Nah, because you're not. What's up, Pumpkin? No, you're not talking too much, bro. Like, first of all, in order to learn, you got to listen. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, I may be asking questions for a broader audience, but I'm also asking these questions for myself. So, you know, I'm listening and I'm learning, and I'm hearing the similarities in our journeys. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes me, you know, feel good. Based on what you're saying, right? Saying like how everything is still new. Like all these dance styles are still like babies and new, even though they've been done, like you said, for a couple of decades. I still feel like in the past 10 years, like the 4 styles that are like real, you know, prominent as far as coming out and presenting themselves like, hey, we're here. It was Flexing, Jukin, Turfing, and Crump. I know Crump had the movie and stuff like that, so they had like a little springboard that you guys didn't, but I still feel like it's still, you know, new and relevant enough to still be in that category. And so what have been some challenges that you guys have had as far as you know, pushing it out there, like, oh, this is a real style, these are the people, this is the actual culture? Like, what have been some of the obstacles to do that? Because like I said, Crump didn't necessarily have that. From what I know, that, you know, they got that big springboard, you know, with the Rise and everything. And then, you know, flexing has built itself, you know, with Flex in Brooklyn, and then going into you know, Battle Fest Loud, and like they've came up off of their own platforms, and the same thing with Jukin, and the same thing with you guys. But I know that each culture's journey and push is different. So what have you guys ran into in terms of getting the style and the culture out there properly?
Man, some of our difficulties is number one, first of all, is the organization. So like our culture is still getting used to, I think, being modernized and understanding what it takes to be able to be on that level of needing to get it out there to the highest possibility. And it comes as small things, as small as just being on time to something. You know, you get promoting fire that you're on, that you got booked for. This little things like that is difficult if you're trying to put something together as a whole. Not just me. We got a lot of organizers that's putting stuff together, and then you do your part, and we all got to play a part. And then you can't be on time, but you got fans in here who's waiting for you. That's not dancers, regular people with their kids and people, but then you want to be 3 hours late.
Yikes.
But stuff like that, egos is a very strong thing that we're dealing with. People's egos is so high. People think that they bigger than what they are. And that's just the reality of, I don't know what's going on or why people feel the way they feel, but people's ego think nobody is bigger than a whole culture. We are all small pieces in this thing that we love called dance. That's a very broad thing around the world. We all speak this universal language, but motherfuckers want to walk around with their chests all poked out and shit. Like, nigga, you're not sitting on $1 billion. Yeah. You don't own no properties. You ain't building no brands. So this ego thing, like, needs to come down and understand that, yo, yeah, we got to be competitive. We getting our bag on that. But you got to know in a time and a place where to lower that down and be like, look, we all got something we can bring to the table. It don't got to just be battling. It's a lot of talented people in our culture who do music, do graphic designs, videography, marketing, promotion, got many different talents. Okay, let's all bring our different talents to the table, and we all come together and we push that. You know what I'm saying? So we dealing with the egos. We dealing with the organization, being organized, and we dealing with the eco base far as we don't even value our own culture. Other places like yourself value our own culture. Yeah. I have gotten more love going to a Jersey, going to a Memphis, going to a DC and other places, and them appreciating turfing or seeing like, wow, this is something dope and unique and special, than our own culture valuing what we really have. So when I started off charging like $10. You know, wasn't trying to do, starting off $10. People didn't even want to do that. So if you know about an event 3 months prior that you want to come to, and you want to say, can I get in for $6? But you got a Versace belt on, blueberry jeans, and a chain on, and you can't.
And you smoking weed every day.
Smoking weed, you just bought 2 Ace, $10. You got to understand the value in what we have, the value in understanding that it costs to be the boss. It costs for this shit to grow. Any company, the main thing they talk about is marketing. The main money that they spend on is marketing. They spend millions and millions of dollars on marketing. So if you can't even value the fact that, yo, you got organizers that got platforms that's putting up their own money, doing marketing, promotion, graphic designs, videographers, and you can't pay $10, your footage is going to go up. You're not getting no battles voted. You're going to get marketing, promotion. We going to campaign you, make you look a certain way so you look like a superstar. We going to give you the whole look. You can't pay $10. Oh, no, that's the bro. I mean, he got me. No, it's good. I got you. Can just let me, you know how that go. So it's just stuff like that. I'm just being real with you.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to hold in my laugh because I don't want to be. I don't want to be mean or seem like I'm laughing at anybody in particular. But it's like when you, like I said, as you saying all this shit, bro. Like all the coaches are the same, and it's like I don't want to be laughing at people, but it's just like I've been there, bro. Like I've been 18. I've been in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now. Like I remember all of that shit, and it's been. I'm laughing because nothing has changed. It's always been an issue. Like niggas was always complaining about something, whether it was the price, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Like I remember when we started throwing our own individual event. Like I think our ticket prices were like 25, but because we knew that, because it wasn't just our choice, the venue that we were using. It was Symphony Hall, which is one of the biggest venues, in Jersey in terms of name recognition. And so we knew that price might scare people. So we made sure that it was a show. You understand what I'm saying? We put money into making sure the atmosphere and everything, like it was something that people never seen before. And we made sure that we gave out a grand prize that was like, whoa, at that time we was giving out $2,500. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. Because we knew that it had to match the price that we
pay somebody rent just for the record.
You understand what I'm saying? So I know what you're talking about. So so when people see us laughing or whatever, like we're not laughing, making fun of people or whatever, or like they can't afford this and that, because we know times is hard. But at the same time, like you said, it's a give and receive type thing. Like the universe, that's how the universe works. The universe gives to us and we're supposed to give back so that we can keep receiving. And I think people are they come from such a space of not having. They're selfish, and some people don't even mean to be. It's just that they don't realize that they're being selfish by trying to like get over on their own mans. You understand what I'm saying? Or get over on the culture. Oh, let me just try to slot up in this battle. Like you sound crazy that you can't pay $10, but you smell like weed coming in. That means you either spent money on the weed or you was just leeching off of somebody. So either way, like you just still look crazy. You understand what I'm saying?
But then you supposed to be treated a certain way, and you got this ego like you the man or you the woman. It's like, no, that's not how this works, fellas. And I understand that. Like, I'm not even saying that it's because it's not necessarily their fault. We didn't have the tools. And that started early on, before I even started turfing. That was early on. When I talked to my OGs, they was like, we didn't know we had. We was young. Like, we didn't really understand. Our business wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we just now are starting to take an incline. Now, one thing that I do like about what's going on in our culture right now that I really love is that there's a lot of platforms. It used to just be whoever had it. One platform had it, that's who had it. So like when Golden Gigs had it, with Mick, shout out to Mick, when he had it, Golden Gigs had it. When Get Wet had it, shout out to Get Wet, they had it. Chokehold, whoever had it, had it. Turf Wars had it, they had it. When the center had it in Oakland, we used to all go to the center, they had it. But now it's all type of platforms, and they all offering all different type of things on all different levels. And that's what I do love. So now you don't have to just be like, all right, it only got this platform. No, like you got options, and I like that now. Like, oh, okay, well, I like more what this platform is offering. I'm gonna go over here, or I connect more with their offering, or I already been on this platform and I like that, but then I want to go up over here and I'm gonna go learn some of that and get into that, and I like that now. There's multiple platforms, and that's how it's supposed to be, because we can all eat, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can all get money. We can all love and support each other. So I try to make sure that, I live what I speak about. I'm not a person that me, just support me. If you support me, I'm supporting you. So I make sure I go to the other events and go to and support, because the next generation is the future. You got people like Skeeter, who's doing Turf Shop, one of our young generational guys that's going crazy right now, who got gigs. That's in Sacramento. It's not a part of the Bay, but it's like cousins. You know what I'm saying? It's love. They up the block. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And got their platform, young brothers that's doing their thing that's a part of this generation. You get what I mean? With B-Mac and Ace, or what the Turf Fiends is doing. I love what my Turf Fiend brothers is doing, and them doing partnerships now with Oakland Landish, or getting certain relationships and starting to open up the markets and do different things. Like, it's so many. I like that now. So it's starting to grow. I see that, but I still feel like there's some tension there. It's still some holdback of, like, I don't know what it is.
I know what you're talking
minds
about.
Of, like, the elders, I'm saying, far as veterans. I'm talking about people around more like my era of, like, that don't mean that you're washed up now. Or like, because somebody, a youngin' is coming up, oh, it's not going to be about me no more. That's what's so dope. And to put this out here to the people, because I want to give people a jewel. I'm a Jay-Z fan, right? I'm a Jay-Z guy. I'm a big fan of Jay-Z. I'm all about family tree. You get what I'm saying? So if the more people you teach and you put on, that adds to the longer you're going to stay in. The longer your legacy. You know why a lot of people washed out? Because you didn't help nobody. I judge people about how many people you put on. When I mean put on, I'm not saying do the work for them, but put in a position so they can actually have a fair chance to do what they want to do. If you in that position to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
People be feeling like, no, that's the point. I want to have 1 million students. You know what I mean? When I pass, I want people to be like, it's so many people that he loved and touched and helped that we can't even fit people in the facility because there's trillions of motherfuckers he didn't touch and help. The more you do that, the more your legacy gonna stay. You here, I'm here, and elders and veterans is still here because we did the community work. We helped. It wasn't about being selfish. Me. Okay, so then when you are done, then how is this shit gonna stay alive?
Most definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
We need young blood. We need that. It's most a good balance.
And they need the exposure. They need the exposure earlier. They need it earlier so they can process how they want to navigate quicker. Because see, for us and the people older than us, we just did things on the fly, and it was like, oh shit, you might end up going down a dead end when you should have took the left. You know what I mean? So if we expose them to different things quicker, they can either learn right there on the fly, or with the guidance that people can give them, or they can make the mistake and still have enough time to, reset and readjust. What's interesting is even for example, when I met you guys, right? When we remember when we came to Memphis? Yeah. Bro, I was 25 then. So think about that. I was 25 in the prime of me dancing. You understand what I'm saying? But because what's up, Glide? Glide, I got to talk to you too. But we'll chop it up. In the midst of that, right, being 25, the run that I had with my crew before that run was so intense. It was like in that 5 years we lived a lifetime and we experienced so much, right? By the time I was 25, I felt that I needed to be giving, and that's what you saw when I was organizing those trips for the young guys from Jersey to come down to Memphis. And just so happened that one time you guys were there and stuff like that, and we just was able to keep growing the building like that. Think about that, bro. I was 25 doing that. Right. I wasn't waiting until I was 30, 40, whatever, to be like, right, oh yeah, I'm OG, let me do this now. Like, I knew then at 25 that, I just went on this crazy run. It was so many mistakes that happened, and it was so many positive things that happened that, people need to know about this shit early. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're going to be able to navigate and not lose your fucking mind. So at 25, I was bringing young people out of New Jersey, out of state, to meet more people, to get into different networks and resources and things like that. And that's how, me and you were able to connect, and you were able to see those dancers. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what it takes. It takes somebody to pull these young people early and put them on the path. Like you said, you don't got to walk the path for them, but it's just putting them in the situation, you know what I mean, to see what they're going to do. Either they going to take the baton and run, or they're going to stumble. And sometimes just because you stumble, that don't mean that you don't keep going. It's just you stumble and, you need help getting back up. All right, I got you. You know what I mean? But you gotta run the race. And I think that's where the disconnect is happening with the elders, the veterans, and the young people. Like, yo, I think that people, it's been proven that the age and shit don't really matter. If you could dance, you gonna always be able to dance. You ain't never gonna be able to take away the mental skill set of a dancer. You understand what I'm saying? You're infinite in that way. It's just that I think that the programming that we've had since slavery, that shit is ever so prevalent now in terms of just how we can't, love on each other and just uplift each other and push each other forward. Like, something is stopping that. And whenever you talk to people about it, they like, well, I don't know why. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. But we do know why, but we don't understand the programming of why we've been programmed to hate each other when we start seeing each other win. And when you go back into slavery, that's what was happening. When if we all outside in the plantation, and then you start seeing a few niggas go in the house, you like, why the fuck they going in the house? I'm breaking my back out here too. Why they getting let in the house? And that's when niggas start hating. That's when niggas start snitching. And it's the same thing now, bro. Soon as niggas start moving and doing this, that, and the third, niggas think niggas is acting funny. And it's like, no, certain niggas just work harder than other niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So they're achieving more because they're mentally applying themselves to do more. It don't mean that they're trying to outdo you or stun on you. It just means that they're trying to do, whether they're older or younger. And people need to take away that older or younger thing and just look at each other as brothers and sisters, whether it's directly or indirectly. Like, you know what? That's what's up. I see what old boy doing today. That's what's up. I fuck with that. We don't, like you said, we don't got to be friends, but I'm a clap for you from a distance. And I think that's what we have a problem doing right now. And we could be way ahead right now if we just understood that yo, all you really need to do is clap from a distance. And if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just don't say nothing. You don't got to bash nobody brand. You don't got to say nothing. Just because if a person or a brand or a promoter or whatever, if they are indeed who you think they are in terms of something negative, you don't have to worry about that. That's their karma. And the karma gonna come back to them regardless. So you don't even got to say anything. We don't have to say anything negative to each other if that's how we feel about each other, because it's gonna come back around. It's gonna circle around. But if you can say something to uplift or put people in position to uplift and pass certain things through word of mouth that, yo, this one, he could probably help you, or she could probably do this and that and third for you. I don't understand how we not, understanding that science. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand exactly what you're saying. And I'm saying this to you because I face the same thing even currently now. Like, so it ain't like it's this happened back in the day. Like, nah, this is still happening.
It's still going on.
When I interview other OGs and like, yo, it's been happening for like 30, 40 years, bro. It's been happening in terms of dance. Like, it's always been like this backbiting, misunderstanding, miscommunication, and we've just inherited that as the new younger kids that keep getting younger and younger and younger, and as we keep getting older, nobody's breaking the cycle.
And I think that's important, breaking the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Learning from the past and seeing like, okay, obviously that didn't work. However, that didn't work. So yes, that means let's try some new things, new energy. You know what I mean? But people mentality, especially like I know out here, like people are stuck. They stuck in that era where they was the guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they can't get up out of that matrix of just they forever in that place. Yes. Not that the world is moving, and it's moving very rapidly. With the technology and how the world is just spinning right now, it's moving very quick. So it's like, you got to adjust. And I think it's a great time because we do got modern day technology. You can cut out. It's funny because I heard you talk about Fiverr on here before. You know what I'm saying? Because I use Fiverr. Yeah. One of my brothers put me on Fiverr a couple years back.
I don't need nothing from nobody, my nigga. Nothing from nobody. Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so you got things like that now in Patreon and all these other platforms. Web, you get your it's so much stuff now where you don't gotta go through no third person to get stuff done. We doing NFT, like it's all this different now to where I feel like for dancers, this is the most time we should be turning up.
Yes.
This is the time to really, really do it because now we really in the space to do it. But I think once the egos and our communication get better and people just humble themselves a little bit, and we get more organized, street dancing as a whole, not just turfing, I feel like it'll skyrocket to the next level.
Let me say this too, because I know you just said the thing about, you know, the older dancers being stuck in their time and stuff like that. Let me tell you about my thought process behind that. Right? What up, Jones? Let me tell you my thought process. It's good to, if you feel like, yo, during my time, during my era, it was like this, it was like that. Cool. You should stay in that mode. This is what I learned in terms of Jersey Club, right? Because I'm a first generation Jersey Club dancer. How I dance, I don't look nothing like these young kids. And that's a great thing because I'm an original. Now I can do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? If I choose to, I can jump around and have fun and stuff like that the way they do it. But that's not my thing. My thing is my original way of dancing to Jersey Club music, right? So for me, the more Jersey Club grows, and because I am an actual originator and I was there in the beginning and I'm still here, the more that it pushes forward, logical people, journalists, press, media, when they see things progress 20, 30 years, they're going to want to know, well, who was here at the beginning of all this? Well, what was it like then? And then that's when you can step up and shine as being who you are. Let these young kids run out here and do this and do that and have their time and, you know, make their mistakes or whatever, or shine or whatever. Let them build up whatever ego that they need to build up, because at the end of the day, it's not just about people's individual progression and progress. It's about the overall cultural progress. And when you start saying things have a history and this, that, and the third, I'm telling you, bro, logical people are going to be like, well, what was happening in early 2000s? What was happening in the 90s? And there's only going to be certain people to explain that. So for the older dancers like 28 and up, just continue to be who you are. If you were doing something during a time frame and things have rapidly changed and it's no longer like that, that's cool. Stay who you are from your time frame, because people are going to come back. I think my mentor always told me everything always comes back to a source. So if you're a source, what's up, Juju? If you're a source person, then that's what I am. Like, I'm a source person, meaning like I told you, I was the first person to put up a Jersey Club clip on the internet of my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? It had Jersey Club music from my man brother, and it was my boy and my crew dancing to the music. Right. I'm the one who created the algorithm for it. So I'm a source. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't gotta compete with the young people. I don't gotta look at them and hate on them or their opportunities like that. Like, great. Like, cause I remember when it didn't exist. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my advice, because you mentioned that like people be feeling stuck, and I want them to feel like you're not stuck. Right. You were placed in that time frame by the universe for a reason. And if you love the craft, if you love the culture, if you love yourself and you love your people, you're supposed to be elevating within that space and that time to serve as a pillar. You understand? Like a pyramid. You understand? The pyramids are thousands of years old, but they're still standing. You understand? They're still standing for a reason, and we can't figure out how the fuck they're there. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you want to be. You want to become your own pyramid from your own time, and let everybody else be who they want to be in their time, because it is their time whenever it is their time. So you don't have to hate on the young people. What I'm really trying to say, bro, it ain't no disconnect. It don't have to be. It's really all an illusion. So a lot of this shit that we be talking, it's really all based on illusions. Like, that's why it's hard to even, like, not hard to talk about it, but it's hard to, like, even when you speak on it, like, believe that you're really talking about certain shit. Because it's like, yo, this shit is an illusion. Like, it don't even got to be like this. Why are we programmed to hate each other this way? Why? Like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter that I'm in my 30s and this other dancer's, 20 years old. Like, time doesn't even exist on that plane like that. You understand? Because I can still get out there and dance with these young people, so it doesn't even matter. But that's not my place anymore. My place is to be a resource. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's the problem. People don't know their roles and their places. And I kind of want to change over, because you said something earlier in terms of there's a whole bunch of other talents, right, that people have within the culture. And one of those talents that I know that you have, you also started cultivating yourself being an MC. So I want you to speak about when you start making that transition, and how if that was able to get you even other doors so you can present your dancing or vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? Tell me about that, because you know you hear like Kanye, people be telling him like, nah, yo, you should have just stuck to producing, you shouldn't rap, or now you shouldn't rap, you shouldn't do clothes, like, but you know he can do all of those things, and if you can do all those things, you should. So tell me about your MC journey.
Oh man, thanks, bro. That's funny because that's really what's kind of like my situation. Like, so I got into music and dancing. I love them equally. You know what I'm saying? Both, but dance, I had got the resource first. As far as like I started buzzing and I was gaining some success in that. I didn't have the resources yet for music. I didn't know nothing about no mixing, mastering, no studio. I didn't have none of that. So when I got into music around 2012, and I started doing my groundwork like professionally, and I was like, I want to rap and dance. I was like, you know, I want to bring something different to the table, and people thought I was crazy because they're like, what are you talking about? Like, how the fuck are you finna rap and dance? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna give on the show. I'm not talking about choreography. I'm gonna come out there, MC, and I'm gonna come out there and freestyle dance. Like, that's what I want to do. People's like, nah, you're gonna have to pick one, because it's already hard work to just focus on dancing. Like, you finna try to do music too and try to do that at the same time. It was like, hell nah, bro. You gonna have to pick one. Like, you crazy. You know, you crazy. But you know, all I did, I like being told that, you know, you can't do something, or I like that stuff because I like proving people wrong. That's just me. Like, oh, okay, this because you can't see it in your head, that don't mean I can't see it in mine. So I'm about to go show you real quick. But I got into the music, and I've been doing music since I was a kid. But when I got a little older and I got the resources, I started going to the studio. I put out my first EP in like 2012, and it was still just CDs. It was CDs and iTunes. So this is before Spotify, Apple, Tidal, all the streaming stuff. It was just iTunes, and you were still passing out CDs, which I'm thankful for. So, because I kind of come from that old essence, some to see how that experience was, and then being able to see how stuff has evolved with, you know, the technology with the streaming services. So, the music journey has been very dope and interesting. It's been ups and downs like anything, and actually having to learn the music business, just like we
Mm-hmm.
talk about I had to learn the structure and figure it out, and the music business continued to change. So like every couple of years it was changing. So it was like, well, there ain't no more CDs or iTunes. It's finna be, that ain't the thing no more. Boom, here comes Spotify, here come these streaming services, all this type of shit. So it kept going. Then the vlogs used to be where you used to go for sources and stuff like that. That shit is outdated now. Like, that's magazines that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so much. So now it's like, okay, now being where the time is now, and been putting out music, putting out projects, I've been able to go back now that I have a catalog and be able to see what worked, what didn't work, who I want to represent, who am I talking to, all these different things that matter than just being a dope lyricist. Because that was my number one thing. I was like, I just want to destroy everybody. I just want to be one of the greatest MCs ever. So one of my, like, my few favorite, some of my few favorite MCs is Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Jay-Z, Mos Def, you know, and Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Bay all day, but that East Coast, that energy influenced me lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
East Coast, you know, well, Lupe from Chicago, but, you know, Nas, you know what I'm saying, Hov, you know what I mean? They, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, you fuck with spitters. You fuck with spitters.
Red, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about
Yeah.
hitters. I always wanted to be, but I had to learn how to become a songwriter.
Yeah.
Rapping was there, but I had to evolve into a songwriter. So I had to learn how to write choruses, understand, listen to melodies, understand what a transition is in a production, how to do arrangements is, what's the difference between a beat maker and a producer, understanding
Mm-hmm.
how you supposed to market yourself, what are you marketing to, who's your audience, having to learn all that shit. And it's been a beautiful blessing because through my journey, I met someone who did believe in the fact that I can rap and dance, and was willing to help my vision of what I see, because I wanted to use the music business as a gateway to make dancing more higher.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
because the music industry is already solidified. It's already there. It's
Yep.
already its own thing. So I met this guy named Dez that got the Madhouse Entertainment that's from San Francisco. And he had me come on the show to do an interview at like he was at San Francisco, I think it was San Francisco State or San Francisco City. I don't know if it's San Francisco City or San Francisco State, but he was doing radio station at the college and stuff. And he was like, who you work with? Like, who you? I was like, man, I'm out here just doing my thing. I'm not really working with nobody. And he started putting me on like actual like shows, like actually going to like a building and actually performing. So he gave me the opportunity to do my first tour. So, you know, I put up a few dollars to go on a tour. So my first tour, I'm packed with 16 people in a van. Never been on tour. Don't know how this shit works, but I seen it as like I'm going on tour. Like this is what I feel like I'm going on tour. So I go on tour. I meet all these different people. We don't know each other, but then we become super close on the tour. You know, because it's all we have. It's us for 2 weeks. You know, I'm on tour for 2 weeks, so we going all over. And a couple tours go by. I built a relationship with him. At the time, he eventually become my manager for music. So he was a tour manager. And he had his own, you know, he had his own label. So he was doing, you know, doing this thing out here. And then he had his own radio show on 85.95. So I said, I want to rap and dance, and I want to use the music to start bringing in street dancers to dance in professional venues with their own set. They're on the flyer. They're being marketed just like an artist. I don't want them background dancing. I want them to have their own set, a part of the show. He had faith in that. He believed in that. He's like, oh, we can do that. So I started bringing some of the turf dancers on tour with me, and they had their own set. They was on the flyer. They got all the promo, all the interviews, just like a music artist would do to start breaking in. So it's like, you thinking that you coming in just seeing it. No, we got rappers on the billboard. We got dancers on the billboard. And then we got on some hip hop shit. Then we got the DJs, we got our DJ that's gonna go in for 10, 15 minutes and scratch and go crazy, get the crowd hype. So we bring in the whole essence. And that started picking up in other states because we was going to small states. So his thing was like, we hit smaller states that ain't nobody going to. Ain't nobody going to Wyoming like that. Ain't nobody really going to Idaho. Not Boise, Idaho. That's where all the big artists go. But we going to smaller places in Idaho. We going to South Dakota, Nebraska, you know, all over these different places where that culture isn't there. We bringing the culture there, not just but the dancing, and they're seeing the dancing. So I'm rapping and I'm dancing. So I'm doing 5, 6 songs. I rock. Then I come out, put on my dance instrumental. Then I give like a 2-minute freestyle dance performance. And, you know, people loved it. All right, I got my homies coming on, like people, dancers. But the thing is, a lot of times when we was on tour, they didn't even care for the rap artist. The dancer was the star.
Yep.
Oh, look at what how did they ate that up. And, you know, and that was the gateway to where, you know, we probably did about 5, 6 tours, and I had them come on multiple tours. And the beautiful thing about that was not just being able to start doing rap dance tours around the globe and South by Southwest. You know, I just had to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had dancers with their own set at South by Southwest. This is, 3 years ago? So one of the biggest places where people come campaign and promote and do the dancers had their own set at South by Southwest. So now people are seeing, they're like, wait a minute. Out here, they're like, oh, it's possible. So now we got more rappers and dancers. At first, you know, they didn't understand. You crazy, Skort. You know what I'm saying? But now they started to see the vision of like, oh, he going on there, and the spotlight is on the dancers. The dancers is the star. They got their own they do 5-minute sets. Every dancer had a 5-minute set to do whatever they want to do. I don't care what you do. As long as you use your 5 minutes however you want to. So then they started making their own sets and making what they call those? A music mix, where they have mixed 4 or 5 songs and everything for their show. Then that became, all right, now we getting into these doors. Now let me start showing them about how you market yourself. You need your business cards. You need your merchandise. You need to, this is how you're going to be able to, and now we in these other states, not only are we pushing the culture, but now you able to, now you're going to left a piece of yourself with them. Not just the dancer, they remembered you, but now you left a piece of yourself with them. So like my brother, Raw Future, one of the first turf dancers, the little kids, one of the first little kids in turf dancing, he got a brand called Foot Surfing, you know, and super amazing on his feet. You know, it's like water. Like to this day, I don't even know. I always love gliders. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how they but he got this style he called Foot Surfing, and you know, I was telling them like, nah, you got a brand with that. Like that's you. That's creative. Created a brand with that. Tuck that on tour, and that shit shot out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like now the dancers are understanding, yo, now you can have now you can be a brand. Now you got your own set. Now you on all the flyers. You being marketed to try to tell them and show them like, look, the artists, these rappers or these singers, actors, they're not beneath you. They're at all. You gonna get the same treatment just like any other art form. And now we do rap dance tours where we because it's been the pandemic, but we've been going on tour for the last 5-6 years. And I've been bringing dancers on, and we've been going on tours, being able to go see the Jimi Hendrix Memorials, the Bruce Lee Memorials, just seeing different cultures, being in South Dakota. I'm from the Bay Area. Never thought that I'd be on tour with my homies in South Dakota somewhere, in Nebraska somewhere, dancing, doing what we love to do. So, you know, I mean, I'm taking credit for it, you know, and I mean by that is not but ain't nobody was doing no rap dance tours. I'm the first person to do that, and having them in their own sets where Krayshawn and all these other big artists, where they perform out in these venues, they was in the venues with their own sets. Nobody was rapping and dancing at a high level. I'm not talking about you dope at dancing, but your music ain't developed. The music is at a high level, and the dancing is at a high level. You know, so I feel like I'm one of the pioneers of that. I feel like I'm one of the people that opened that energy up to be like, you can do this, because it wasn't no blueprint to look at. I didn't have no blueprint to look at, like I just know I wanted to do it, but I needed the pieces to get it done. And my bro, you know what I'm saying, the Madhouse was one of those pieces, and it was been able to come together to where it was like the blessing of the fact that we was all able just to travel the world and be able to see shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know that because you from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? I know how rough Jersey is. Some people don't even leave out their own city, their own block, their own hood. So to have a bunch of people, not only just a bunch, but people that you actually know, friends that you've been friends with for years, your loved ones, and y'all able to go on tour together and grow together and be able to experience together, that was one of the most beautiful things for me. But the rap dance tour, and we're going to continue to do that, is to use the music into getting the dancing into where it's like, this is need to be the new conditioning. Dancers need their own sets. You can book a dancer for a concert. I seen it done with the Les Twins. Les Twins came out here and did a theater show and packed that shit out. 1,500 people. The market is there. It's just, we go back to what we talk about. People doing their part, understanding, and not being on no, because, oh, okay, he did it or whatever. I'm not gonna support it, or I'm gonna act like it don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be the killer thing for me, bro. That whole don't exist of, or act like the non-support. What people, let me break that down real quick, right? No matter who you believe in, whether it's God, Allah, Jehovah, Buddha, Jesus, whoever, the universe, the internet, whatever you believe in, right? If you believe in a higher power, and you believe that higher power is working in the favor of everyone, right? When you see people doing stuff and you see it going a certain way, right? If you're ignoring it, technically you're ignoring your creator's creations. That's what you're doing. Like, you're ignoring God's work. and he or she is working right in front of you and showing you like, look, like not to suppress you or make it seem like what you're doing is not good enough, but if they're showing you someone's success and they're creating the space for them to succeed, you might want to look at that, because for me, I believe that the universe talks through all of us every single day.
100%.
Through every single person. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to your signs and what your higher power is trying to tell you through who he or she is trying to tell you it through. You understand what I'm saying? So all that ignorant, because I experienced that stuff too. You know, niggas be ignoring, and it's like, yeah, you ignore the universe is going to ignore you. Because me personally, bro, I see what everybody's doing. I see what everybody's doing in my own culture. I see what you doing. I see what everybody is doing. That's the nature of me being media and having the magazine. I gotta know what everybody's doing. That don't mean that I fuck with what everybody's doing, but I still know. You understand what I'm saying? And if I support it, I support it. I clap for people every single day. That's the nature of a magazine, to shine the light on people. I shine the light on the people that I feel deserve it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody has a turn. I don't have favorites or anything like that. I see certain people and I'm like, yo, that's what's up. If I see some new people, that's what's up. If I see some older, like a Poppin' Pete or something like that, yo, that's what's up. Or Mr. Wiggles, like, that's what's up. I'll shine the light on them or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all that, I'm not going to act like niggas don't exist. Just because Poppin' Pete and them are going into their 60s, I'm not going to act like they don't exist. You understand what I'm saying? That's retarded. Right. Especially, when they were a part of my initial inspiration. You understand what I'm saying? That stuff, just the way people move, bro, logically, it just don't be adding up. And then they wonder why they stuff not moving. Because you don't even know how to support moving things in front of you. What makes you think your shit is going to start moving if you don't know how to support other moving things? Because that's what your moving thing is going to take to succeed. It's going to have to need support. So if you don't know how to support people, what makes you think you're going to receive support for what you're doing? I'm telling you, bro, it's all 360. It's all reciprocal. Like, people just don't understand that. They think that they're cutting corners or they being slick. Oh, I ain't going to support this one. I'm going to support this one over here so they can get there first. And such and such ain't going, like, yo, I'm here to tell everybody, my nigga, I done been to the mountaintop already. It's only one mountaintop and ain't shit there. You understand what I'm saying? But more work. But more work.
Say that again.
More work to stay at the top. You're not going to get nowhere that I haven't been or that I haven't seen. If you don't see me there, it's because it's not for me. I don't want to be over there. I don't want to be on that side of the mountain. I don't want to be at the tippy top so that when they cut the feet out under me, then I'm assed out. You understand what I'm saying? Or sell my soul or sell my ass to be up there. People think that it's a finish. It ain't no race. It ain't no finish line. Ain't nothing nobody got out here that's different than anybody else, bro. It ain't nothing. All you need to be doing is taking care of yourself, your family, and your people if you can. It's as simple as that.
You ain't lying. I agree with you 100%, bro.
You know what I mean? So, yo, that's another thing. But, like, we gonna chop it up after this, bro. Like, because I was talking to Kosh when he came through for Ladia. So, I'm like, yo, we need to do something with the Bay in Jersey. Like, how we come out there and y'all can come, out here. It's like, we need to start doing. Now that everything's opening back up, we need to start doing. Because, we talk a lot, and that's what people say, oh, niggas is all talk, this, that, and the third. It's like, all right, so doing the work is actually easy. I prefer doing work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people, try to run away from work and then just want to post videos online and act like they doing stuff, a million freestyles a day, giving away all their moves for free. That ain't putting in work. You understand what I'm saying? When you organizing trips and you working with other people across the country to make certain things happen, that's real work. That's real leadership. So I'm about that work. So I want to work with people that's about that work. So we gonna keep it moving on that, bro. So I appreciate it.
Nah, 100%. You know, it's love out here. We gonna make a play and vice versa, man. It's been a while. I ain't been in Jersey in a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. I gotta have you come out here so you can, you know what I mean? You gonna get on some of this good weed.
Whatever Wiz Khalifa smoking, I want that, because that nigga been high for 20 years. That nigga, his high ain't come down yet. His eyes still low.
Man, yeah, where's stay lit? That nigga be. But no, we definitely going. And I think, just speaking for us, like specifically, I think our work speaks for itself. Like at this point, at least for me, you know, you have a catalog where your actions speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers know that you ain't all talk. I got a catalog. People know I ain't all talk. I'm the same way. I'm not about all the. Let's do the work. Put your money up. Put your money where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to? Okay, we gonna do. We gonna do it. It ain't no. It's just like, okay, we know what time we on. You know what we finna do.
Most definitely.
The
So
work
I
shows.
appreciate
You know,
it,
our
yo. I
actions
appreciate
show
you
that.
taking the time.
Right. That we serious
That's it.
about doing.
That's where it starts. It starts with us like I said, like having these conversations. That's where it start us taking the time to talk, which is what people don't do, especially men. Men don't take the time to talk. Men just have this thing like, well, it just is what it is, like, and everything will just turn out the way it's going to turn out. Like, nah, you got to be a little bit more strategic than that. Like, you got to talk, you got to plan, you got to strategize, and then, you know, you got to follow through and carry out, you know, certain missions for things to turn out a certain way and for you to keep doing it. Because once you do it, every time you do something, it's a small little blueprint. You understand what I'm saying? Then you want to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep making connections and keep expanding. And you know, we're doing that now. The hard part was us connecting in the first place. The fact that we're on two opposite sides, you know, of the country. So that that happened on purpose, and that magic happened where we met. So now it's time to build on. Now that we were older and we have a full understanding of the situation and self, we need to build on that, not only for ourselves, but for the future generations coming up. So it won't be as like, meaning that the new younger people coming up in the Bay and the new younger people coming up in Jersey, they should already be connected for the mere fact that we're connected.
Right.
Otherwise we failed. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be connected so that they understand that they can connect. Yo, I can go. You imagine being 18 knowing that, yo, I can fly out to the Bay because of my OG's connection, or being 18 in the Bay like, yo, I can go out to Jersey because my OG Scorp, he already got the connection with Mr. Solo. If I go out there, Mr. Solo gonna set me up, and I'll be okay. Just imagine that, bro. And you can grow and build your brand or whatever it is that you're trying to do because you've been set up in that way. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that, bro. I'm looking forward to us putting in more work, man. So I appreciate it. How can the people keep up with you and follow you?
Man, they can go to my website for WDA, for my dance company, Worldwide Dance Association, to find out what we got up and coming up on there. My Instagram, Scorpion the Dance MC. Scorpion the Dance MC on everything: Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. That's where y'all can keep up with me at. My YouTube, follow my YouTube page, Scorpion the Dance MC. I got a new album. My debut album is dropping next year. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all be in tune for that. You know, after 6 projects in and about 25 singles, I'm finally in a space where I feel comfortable releasing my first debut album, like the actual album, me and my team. It's not just myself. And before I get up out of here, I do want to shout out some of my team and people that, you know, helped me along my journey. I want to shout out Zeus, my whole team, and the Maniacs, all my elders. I love y'all to death. I appreciate y'all. I want to shout out some of my music team, Josh Colbert, my engineer, my in-house producer, Omar Lewis. Shout out to my brother Dusk and Mac Wayne. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And last person, you know, I got to salute the wifey, man. You know what I'm saying? Second half.
Most definitely.
But
Well, I
dealing with my
appreciate you,
crazy
man.
ass.
Nah, that's real talk. That's real talk. You know, it's it's not easy to be with an entrepreneur and artist.
100%. And I do want to speak on that before I get up out of here, because I don't know who, but you know, I've been married. I've been with my wife for 13 years, and I think the fact that I have a companion, somebody that's willing to stick it out and understand the bigger vision in what I'm doing, that definitely played a part in making sure that I got the fuel to keep coming, because that's a lot. The type of work that we do, I don't wish that on everybody. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's built for different things and play different parts. But this road, it's a beautiful road, but it can get very difficult, and you know what I mean. We go through a lot of ups and downs, just being in the mirror with ourselves, stuff that we don't show publicly, that we go through in private, the suffering, the pain, the things that we had to do, the sacrifice to get certain things done, because you have faced so much in the culture. You know what I'm saying? So I think having strong people, before I get up out of here, you know, keep some strong people around y'all. Keep people that love and support you genuinely.
Yep.
You know, mess with people who got good character. I don't give a fuck how much money they got, how they look, all that. None of that stuff matter. Judge a person by their character and the actions, how they move. Keep people that got good character around you. Make sure that you always networking, and don't be over egotistic. Humble yourself and support and show love, man. If I could say anything, support each other. Good karma credit is real. I'm gonna leave it on that note.
All right, brother. We're gonna connect. We're gonna connect outside of this too, bro.
100%.
Right. So I'm gonna be hollering at you, all right?
For sure.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace, man.